If this is your first time cleaning a revolver, or maybe you recently inherited a Colt Lawman and you're not exactly sure where to start, you've come to the right place. In this video, I'll show you how to properly and easily maintain your Colt Lawman step by step, even if you've never done this before. By the end of this video, your revolver will be clean, protected, and ready for carry, storage, or simply preserving it for the next generation. This is some of the equipment you'll need to clean your Colt Lawman. I'll leave everything in the video description below. Start out with a clear and empty firearm, meaning no ammunition. Turn it over to the right side. You'll see a screw below the cylinder and above the trigger guard. You'll need to remove that screw in order to remove the cylinder from the frame. Once the screw comes out, you'll see that there's a spring and a pin inside. Here's a close-up of the screw. The spring and the pin are still inside the frame. So I'm going to put that screw in one of these little compartments on the mat so it doesn't roll off the table. And here's a close-up of what the spring looks like. So I'm going to carefully dump the spring and pin into my hand. And here's a close-up of what the pin and spring look like. See, the spring is still inside the pin. It usually stays that way, but sometimes it comes out with all three pieces together, meaning the screw, the spring, and the pin. Now release the cylinder by pulling the cylinder release latch to the rear. Open the cylinder. Now carefully remove the cylinder by pushing it forward towards the muzzle, just like that. Now that came off easy this time because this revolver has been properly maintained and lubricated, but if your revolver hasn't been lubricated in a while, you may have to jiggle that cylinder a little bit for it to come off. Now I'm going to remove the grips. You don't have to remove the grips every time you clean, but I'm just going to remove the grips this time just to make sure there's no rust or corrosion inside. I'm not too worried about this when removing the grips, but when you're removing that screw that releases the cylinder, I recommend using a bronze tip screwdriver. If you were to slip off that screw, at least you have some chance of maybe not scratching it if you're using a softer metal tip. If the grip panels don't come off right away, just pull this corner here to get it started. I'm just going to push from the inside to get the other side off. I'm just going to inspect this while I have the grips off. Sometimes it could be rust, and other times it could just be factory cosmoline that looks really old and kind of reddish like that. Either way, I'm going to clean it off and put a new coat of protectant on it. I'm going to start out by spraying some CLP on both sides of it. You don't have to use aerosol CLP, you can use liquid CLP. Put some CLP inside the bore and let it soak in for a minute. I'll be using both aerosol and liquid CLP while I'm cleaning this. You don't have to use both, I just choose to use both in this particular case. If you're going to use multiple products, just be sure you don't mix product types. For example, if you start with a petroleum-based CLP, make sure you stick with petroleum-based products throughout the cleaning process. Right now, I'm just wiping off the majority of the dirt, residue, and fingerprints. I'm going to spray a little more CLP on the grip frame area. Now I'm going to use the nylon brush and start scrubbing all surfaces. This nylon brush is specific for gun cleaning. Be sure to never use any kind of abrasive brush, no harsh metals that have any chance of scratching your firearm. The smaller end of the nylon brush really comes in handy when getting into these harder to reach spaces. Now that I loosened up the majority of the dirt, carbon, fouling, unburnt powder, and all that stuff, I'm going to add CLP to an angled cotton swab and go through it in fine detail. Now wipe off the excess CLP. Now add a few drops of gun oil throughout the frame. Now use the microfiber cloth to rub it into all surfaces. And you can do this with CLP also because CLP is cleaner, lubricant, and protectant. I just like to take the extra step and use a dedicated lubricant as a protectant. Now add CLP to a .38 caliber bronze bore brush and attach it to the cleaning rod or cleaning cable, whichever you prefer. I only pull the bore brush through in one direction, from breech end to muzzle end, or chamber end to muzzle end, however you want to remember that, because it doesn't make any sense at all to push the dirt out and pull it right back in. So I hold the bore brush inside the breech area, then I insert the rod from the muzzle in and screw the rod onto the brush and pull it out the muzzle. You can also use a cable to pull the bore brush through, but sometimes it's a little tricky to get that bore brush to clear the breech area. There's no specific number of times you need to do this. It really depends on how much you've been shooting. In this case, I'm just going to pull the bore brush through a few times and move on. Now add a little CLP to a bore mop and do basically the same thing you did with a bore brush. And you can do the same thing with cleaning patches if you like. You'll get the same result. And just like with a bronze bore brush, I'm only pulling this bore mop through in one direction, from breech in to muzzle in. Now I have a 38 caliber bore snake. I'm going to drop the weighted end down into the bore. Be careful with this part here. These are the bore bristles. You don't want to scratch your frame as you're pulling it through. So I'm going to carefully guide those bore bristles into the breech area before I finish pulling the rope through. The bore snake is going to be the most effective step in the entire cleaning process. You only need to pull the bore snake through 1, maybe 2 times, and the bore is going to look spotless. It'll look like black shiny glass inside. The rifling will be perfect. There won't even be a speck of dust or lint inside. It'll even look better than it came from the factory. Now spray the cylinder with CLP and start scrubbing all surfaces, and you can use the small end of the nylon brush to get into the smaller areas. And just a reminder to push the ejector rod through the cylinder so you can get both sides of it and behind the extractor star. Now that I've loosened up all the dirt with a nylon brush, I'm going to add CLP to an angled cotton swab and go through it in fine detail. Attach the bronze bore brush to the cable. I realize it doesn't matter so much when I'm cleaning the chambers, but I like to stay in the habit of going in one direction, from breech in to muzzle in. Now attach the bore mop or patch holder with cleaning patches, add a little CLP, and repeat the process. Now add gun oil to a cotton swab. I'm going to add a medium coat of lube to any moving parts, anything that shows metal on metal wear, and a light coat of lube to everything else. Now I'm going to use a microfiber rag to smooth it all in. Now reinsert the cylinder crane back into the frame. Make sure it's locked in properly, everything lines up, looks good. Okay, now close the cylinder as you normally would. And if it doesn't want to close, it's probably because you have the hammer back. You want to make sure the hammer is forward when you close the cylinder. Here's a close-up of the screw assembly you removed earlier. The pin goes in first, then the spring, then the screw. Now place the right side grip panel on first. Then attach the left grip panel. Reinsert the screw into the left side grip panel and screw it back in, and it doesn't need to be tight, just a little snug. If you screw it down too tight, you might crack the grips. I'm just going to lightly wipe off any excess CLP or gun oil, but I do want to leave a light protective coating on the entire finish. Just a quick reminder that I left links to all the gear I used in this video in the description below. Clean your Colt Lawman after every use, regardless of round count. If you keep it in storage, just take it out every few months depending on your climate, just to make sure there's no signs of rust or corrosion. I do recommend using some sort of dehumidifier inside your safe. If you do that, you'll keep this firearm in great condition for generations to come. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, and visit skullcrest.com.